Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Watson Michael from Ceylon Institute of English and Leadership. And we're glad to have with us Mr. Steve Silbiger, the author of the 10-Day MBA, an international bestseller with more than 500,000 copies sold worldwide, and the author of 2 other interesting business books. Also, Steve is the founder and chief marketing officer of Top Dog Direct, Philadelphia. Steve, welcome back. How are you doing?
Well, thank you. Glad to be back.
It's an absolute honor. So, Steve, could you let us know what is marketing and why is it important for organizations and people?
Well, marketing, if there's no demand for your goods, then there's no reason to have the whole organization to begin with. So marketing puts the product in the hands of consumers. It makes marketing also can, be involved with the product itself, so it's more marketable. So to me, because I am a marketer, it always starts with the marketing. It always begins, what does the consumer want, and putting them together with a product or service as a sale. So if you have the most efficient factory and the most efficient warehouse to ship it and everything, but people don't want your product, there's no reason for the company to exist. And that's why sometimes, and I mentioned in the book, sometimes some people that are salesmen in a company make more than the president of the company because they're working on commissions. So salespeople making a percentage of sales sometimes make the largest paychecks in companies.
100%, especially the insurance salesmen. They make a lot of money, right? Yes. So, how powerful is word of marketing? Now, we understand this book. It's an international bestseller, and especially, if I'm not mistaken, it's word of mouth.
Well, most books, unless you're like one of those top 20 authors, the way that books really sell is word of mouth advertising. So you like a book like yourself and you'll tell friends and what have you. You never see a book really advertised on television. They don't really send many emails. And in the case of the 10-Day MBA, they did like virtually no marketing, nothing for the to support the book. So what they did is they put it on the shelf. They got a few reviews, but essentially it's word of mouth advertising. And like you saw the book, you were telling me that you saw the book on the shelf. You thought the name was a good name. And it intrigued, it enticed you to take another look. That would be part of marketing. Call, the name of the book, being the 10-Day MBA, is a marketing thing. The color of the book, yours is in blue, or what have you. Imagine it was brown. Brown seems boring. It would just be on the shelf, but blue's happy. In the United States, it's red. It's eye-catching. So it's all part of the marketing.
So I found this book actually during me and my colleague, we went to a departmental store. So I went to the bookshop to buy an interesting book actually, but apparently it was like almost half empty, the bookstore. It's a small bookstore in the department store. So I saw this book, the 10-Day MBA, right? If I'm not mistaken, this was in 2017, right? And my friend said, "Hey man, you can't do an MBA in 10 days." And I was like, "No, let me give it a try. I'm going to buy this book." And I bought this. And when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I read this book. I completed it in 10 days, every day a single chapter, right? And it's a super book. I just love it. Right? It's a great book. So
Yeah, I'm very proud of it, and it really delivers what it says. Obviously, it's not like going to school for 2 full years, but
mhm.
it gives you a lot of the knowledge of it. And obviously, the book has been out since 1992,
Yeah.
and it's in 4 editions.
Hmm.
And so, you know, the success of the book is because of people talk about it like you. Thanks. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the way it is. Even at business schools,
Yes.
they at their bookstores of business schools, they sell my book so that
Mm.
students can get up to speed, especially if they don't have an undergraduate degree in business.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a humanities degree,
Yeah.
and then they're fed to the lions that first year. So it gives them a little, a head start on what they're about to learn. So no, it's very useful, and I get a lot of feedback from readers,
Yeah.
and people talk about it. It's word of mouth.
Absolutely. Right. Phenomenal book. So, what is the life? What is the daily life of a marketing manager?
Well, my day job is in marketing. I am a
Yeah.
marketing manager.
Okay.
So when I get to work every day,
Mm-hmm.
I advertise products on television.
Okay.
And so every day in the morning, I get the results of the prior day. And
Okay.
so I will see which station on TV that it ran. I
Mm-hmm.
can see how many orders came in. And then different, if things are going well, you spend more money on that station running the TV commercial. If it
Yeah.
does poorly, you may make tweaks, cut it back.
Yeah.
You also, or I also in the morning monitor the sales on the internet to
Yes.
make sure that the sales that are coming from from Google ads,
Mm.
from Facebook ads,
Yeah.
from trademark ads, from
Yeah.
shopping ads. I monitor those on a daily basis to make sure
Wow.
things are going well. We also sell on Amazon, and I can
Mm-hmm.
tell what happened the prior day on Amazon.
Wow.
And then I follow all the different metrics of
Yeah.
conversion of
Mm-hmm.
leads to sales.
Yeah.
How much does each sale generate,
Mm-hmm.
called the average order per sale. And
Yes.
then my cost per order, what each order costs me, and
Yeah.
then how much do I make on each. And
Mm.
so it's a daily basis. And then on actually was today,
Yeah.
I met with my media company
Okay.
on Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
and then we decide what is our plan for the next week.
Yeah.
What did we do well the prior week, and
Yeah.
what's the future for the next week?
Yeah.
And then based off of that, I have to make sure that I have enough inventory,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that things are in line for that shipments are making it out to the customer on
Yeah.
a timely basis,
Correct.
and what new stations can we run, what
Mm-hmm.
formats can we run,
Yeah.
and run a special. So it's complicated. It's not
Mm.
just fun. It's not just fun and games. It's
Yeah.
not just creative. It's a lot of numbers on
Yes.
on a daily basis.
Mm.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So you have to dive deep inside. So
And that's the ongoing business.
yeah.
Maybe around noon or something. Uh, I'm always looking for new products.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll answer emails from new inventors and write
Wow.
them back. And then in the afternoon, I may be on the internet looking at different sources on the web for new products. I
Mm-hmm.
have various catalogs, home shopping networks,
Mm-hmm.
Kickstarter, Indiegogo. I will look at those for an
Wow.
hour or so. And then this afternoon, and that's what I did. And then
Yeah.
in the afternoon, spoke to an inventor
Mm-hmm.
uh, about his project,
Okay.
and then we also opened up a whole bunch of boxes products that came in from
Mhm.
different inventors, trying to decide what our next project is.
Wow.
Last week, we're working on a new project that's a health related project.
Okay.
And I spent a full day trying to come up with the name for
Wow.
the new project, which meant I had to make sure that it wasn't trademarked, it wasn't used,
Yeah.
that there were no patents that were involved with it,
Mm-hmm.
and worked on the initial marketing of a new product, which is
Yeah.
quite exciting. I like it. So I like what I do. And then buy the websites related to the name that I wanted. And
Uh-huh.
then I contacted my lawyer to make sure that he trademarks the new name
Yeah.
once, and make sure that it's not taken by other people. And
Yeah.
so the lawyer gets involved, and then I buy up all the names that
Mhm.
I want to use, by
Yeah.
the URLs,
Yeah.
and then by all the derivations,
Mm-hmm.
misspellings of that name that could happen,
Yeah.
so that when people try to get to the website, they're going to come to my website, not a
Yeah.
competitor's.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
uh, what was it last week? I went and lodged a lot of complaints against competitors of my
Okay.
product, the Be
Uh-huh.
Active, on
Uh-huh.
eBay, because they were
Okay.
counterfeit. And so we had those people taken off. We had people taken off at Walmart.com. And then
Mhm.
another part of my business involves the sales of products to Walmart,
Okay.
and the retailers.
Mm.
And so, yeah, it's a complicated business, but it's fun. When it works, it's great. When it doesn't
Absolutely.
work, it's not so fun.
Absolutely. So, well, if you want success, you have to go through certain complications, right? So
Right.
it is
Like
good.
currently, our big product is called the Be Active Brace. It's
Okay.
for back pain and sciatica,
Uh-huh.
and it's one of the top products in my industry right now. So we're running a lot of media,
Wow.
and then on Amazon, it's very successful.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
marketing on Amazon is a whole nother universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very specific. And so we have experts that work on just Amazon.
Yeah.
We have experts that work just retailers.
Mm.
I have one expert who works on catalogs. So, a product could start, from an idea, but then getting it out there, the marketing
Mm-hmm.
is where, the profits are made, sales are
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's my day.
Yeah. Interesting. It sounds pretty interesting, right? So, guys, if you
Mhm.
want to be a marketing manager, you heard what Steve said, right? And Steve, like the marketing chapter is very interesting, right? Could you give us an example from the marketing chapter of your choice?
Well, it's kind of interesting. The marketing chapter itself has one case that kind of goes through,
Mm-hmm.
and that case was my internship
Okay.
when I had an internship between the first and second year, and
Okay.
a company in Mexico
Okay.
wanted to market their coffee in the United States.
All right.
So they have a good product, a coffee, a roasted coffee packaged, and they wanted to sell into the United States. So my job
Yeah.
was to be the marketer.
Okay.
And in the marketing chapter, I go through exactly the steps that a new product needs to be done. And we
Yeah.
could talk about like the first step in marketing is consumer analysis.
Okay.
So I did a lot of research
Mm-hmm.
on buys coffee, what
Yeah.
kind of coffees are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, at times some people drink, just very, basic coffee,
Yeah.
inexpensive basic coffee from the grocery store. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's the more, high-end coffees,
Yeah.
the better beans that
Yeah.
taste better.
Correct.
And so those have different channels of distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at the market, and I said, oh, the market for coffee is basically controlled at the time by 5 brands.
Mm.
And then there's a whole bunch of little itty bitty brands that
Yeah.
can't get on the shelf.
Yeah.
And so you have to look at what the market is. Is
Correct.
there an opportunity to get into it? And then you have to check the competitors. What are they pricing their coffee at? What
Yes.
are they offering the retailers as a margin on the coffee?
Mm.
And it, it's a full cycle. And then you check the channels of distribution and you
Yeah.
say, one of the things that the company that I was working for, they wanted to put their coffee into the supermarket. That was their
Mm.
goal, to
Okay.
sell their coffee in a supermarket. But all those shelves are filled with those 5 competitors' coffee,
Okay.
and they pay to be there.
Oh.
So in that analysis, and I did a lot of work for that,
Mm-hmm.
I checked which areas can you get into,
Yeah.
and it turned out that getting on the shelf at a grocery store is very difficult,
Mm.
especially in coffee, because who knows this coffee from Mexico from anybody.
Yeah.
It really didn't have any marketing behind it. There was no TV. It's
I
not Folgers or what have you. And at the end of the day, I worked through the numbers. I worked through the economics of,
Mhm.
what I could price the coffee at and be
Yeah.
reasonable to make a profit, what the break evens would be to run some marketing, or
Mm.
maybe have money to the pay the distribution channel to put it on their shelf.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the analysis kind of leads you, hey, that product really would be difficult to, one, get into the marketplace, and two, make any money. That was the conclusion. But that full cycle that's in the book,
Mm.
you have to go through that cycle of analysis
Yeah.
uh, to figure out what you're going to do.
Correct.
And it's it could be applied to any product. It
Mm.
could be applied to some of the products I do. It could be a vitamin. It could be something for healthcare. It
Yeah.
could be a mop.
Yeah.
Anything that under the sun requires the same type of discipline and the same thought process. So it starts out with an idea, but then
Mm.
you have to deal with the reality of what it is. Like,
Correct.
for instance, we have one of my products is called the Campbell cane, and
Okay.
it was invented by Ron Campbell, a
Mhm.
retired gentleman who was
Okay.
selling the product from his garage to
Okay.
chiropractors. And so for him to, he sold a few canes, which is great. And then we took over the project,
Uh-huh.
made a TV commercial. So
Wow.
now I'm marketing it. People
Wow.
wanted it. I sent it, consumers liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it went to retail.
Wow.
Why? Because it has TV marketing for it, so that
Yeah.
when somebody walking by the shelf, they recognize it and they go, wow, I remember seeing the commercial. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it off the TV commercial. I didn't call the 800 number or go to their website. But now that I see it on the shelf, oh, maybe I'll get it. Uh, then you get to the word of mouth. Once you have a lot of the product out there, friends talk about the
Yes.
cane. It's a very unique and helpful cane for people
Yeah.
that have mobility problems,
Yeah.
and that word of mouth occurs.
Wow.
And the marketing ball gets rolling, and
Yes.
at every step of the chain, you have to do your economics and know what happens. If it's
Mm.
live TV home shopping, we were very successful there. So there
Wow.
you're selling it to QVC puts a live airing, and then you
Mm-hmm.
sell it that way. So
Wow.
it's a whole marketing mix that comes through, and that's what I do for my job. I sell
Wow.
it on TV, which could be an 800 number,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go to the website,
Yeah.
or you can go to Amazon, or you could go to a retailer, or you could go to a catalog. Wherever you choose to buy things, we want to be there so that the advertising that we're spending a lot of money on pushes a lot of different a lot of product in different channels of distribution. Wow. So yeah, different products, each category has its own distribution channel. If it's a drug, a prescription drug, sometimes you'll see the advertising on television, but then ultimately it's a doctor who has to prescribe you that drug. Well, there's a sales force who calls on those doctors to get them to be aware of that drug, so that when a patient comes in and says, I want XYZ, they already know about it. They're familiar and they can write a prescription for their customers. But yeah, every product that you can think about, if it's soda pop or coffee or light bulbs or computers, it has its own distribution and different economics and marketing that goes with it. How is this Apple MacBook that I'm talking to you on? Why do I feel that it's a better product than the Microsoft product? Marketing. It's marketing. Although it is a better product, they provide a lot of service that provides a lot of value. They have stores that you can go buy it, and every item, your phone, everything is going to be marketed. You come in contact with it constantly. So that's what I do.
Absolutely. So it's wise words actually, Steve, right? So I was just looking at the product.
Yep, that's it.
Right.
And the chapter goes through each of the steps with examples to let you understand the process. And of all the chapters that are in the book, I have road tested this with people, and they do write me that, they were thinking about, an entrepreneurial situation where they had an idea, a concept, a product, and they use that system to understand, to clarify their thought process and make them ask the right questions. Because you have to ask. If you don't know what to ask.
Correct.
And this process is exactly what they teach you at a top 10 business school. Not only where I went to school, but all the top ones use some form of this strategic process to go through. And I'm proud of it. And I know it works because I've heard people, and because it works, people talk about it. And, putting marketing as the first chapter helps because it gets people interested in some of the other chapters, like accounting or finance or whatever. Those are later into it. But I put it first because I think everything starts with the marketing.
Yes.
And that's why I put it in there that way.
Absolutely. So it doesn't matter if you can't afford an MBA, don't worry. You can always buy this. If you can show the red book, Steve, so people won't get confused. It's the same book. It's not a counterfeit book. It's the same book.
No, this is in the United States. That's an international English version of this book.
So
you understand? Yes.
So
that's the international publisher, and then in English, and then this is the United States publisher in English.
Yes, so those in Asia you will see, and in England you will see the blue book, and in the US
and in the Commonwealth, the Commonwealth you'll see that, Australia, Hong Kong. I've seen it. I've been to Hong Kong. So yeah, you will probably see that blue book internationally.
So there you go. Right. And it's a great book even for doctors, engineers, if you want to know a bit about finance, or any small entrepreneur, if you're just starting your entrepreneurship journey. And if you can't afford a degree, or it doesn't matter if you can't afford a degree, even you can read this, the 10-day MBA. It gives you immense knowledge and you can learn a lot from it, right? So
And it won't make you an expert accountant, but you'll know accounting and you'll ask the right questions. So when you're talking to an expert, you'll know. You won't become a finance genius,
yeah,
but you'll know the fundamentals of finance that you did not know before, or dealing with organizational problems in an organization.
yes,
I mean, it's not going to make you an organizational behavior genius or expert, but you're going to know what you don't know. And that's really important, to ask the right questions.
correct,
So that if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to deal with all these issues
yes,
yourself
yes,
when you first start out. So why not get a general understanding of all these different disciplines, and then your chances of success are much higher, because you won't be making foolish mistakes
yeah,
because you just didn't ask the right question.
correct,
Yeah.
absolutely, right,
Like when I pick new products, getting to the idea of not making the same mistake other people make, I always look at what, because I have some databases, what were
yes,
the failed products in this area before? And I get a look at the failures. And then I have to say, is this new product any better than all those failures? And I go, no, not really. Maybe this product isn't for me. And did that other company do a good job of marketing, and they still were not successful? And
yeah,
then I say, yeah, the product is good. They
mm,
did a good job and it was not successful.
yeah,
So asking the right questions and
correct,
understanding um, the fundamentals of business, because, being, say you're a craftsperson, but you're
yeah,
not an accountant, you want to know what the numbers are so that you make a profit.
yeah,
Uh, that type of thing. You want to ask logistical questions about your manufacturing and
yeah,
understand the process,
yeah,
as opposed to just winging it.
yes, absolutely. Totally agree
Mhm,
with you. And it's always about asking the right questions as well. So,
mhm.
Steve, what is the final message
Yes.
that we can give all our fans?
What?
Yeah, what is
Repeat that.
the final message we can give to all our fans?
Okay. My message would be, with this book, and even with anything that, that you're doing, Michael,
Yeah,
is to be knowledgeable, be curious. Knowledge is your power. Creativity may be the spark of your new idea, your vision, or what have you. That's your vision. But to make it a reality, you need knowledge and power through your knowledge to be successful. And when you don't really have, if you're not the expert in something,
yeah,
hire somebody that knows more than you. Like,
mm,
I hire people to deal with Amazon. I
yeah,
hire people to buy ads on Google. I
mm,
don't do that. I have a team that buys my advertising on television. I have a team who takes the products, puts it in a box, and
yeah,
ships it out. I don't do that. It
yeah,
takes a team to do that, and the ability to ask the right questions. And the 10-day MBA gets you on that journey to ask the right questions, and
mm,
gives you that base of knowledge that, you feel confident
yeah,
that you have a chance of being successful.
yeah.
That's what I have to say.
Wise words. So, for all those watching, you can get Steve's big book on Amazon Kindle, or if you want the hard copy as well, you can get it from Amazon, or you can check out your local bookstore. So this book has been translated at least into a dozen languages, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and enjoy. So Steve, thank you for taking time and doing this
My
podcast
pleasure.
with us.
It's always a pleasure talking to you, Michael.
Likewise.
Alrighty. All right. Take care.
You too.